Hi. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about special case equations. You may remember from a few lessons back, there were some equations where our variables canceled out, and I told you in a future lesson, we'd learn what to do. This is that lesson. So there's a lot of information here. Before I start with you, you need to read through the information right here on page 1. These are notes. And page 2. Okay, you do not have to worry about the part about creating multi-step one solution equations. So we can skip that part. We can skip this, and you can skip this. We're not going to worry about those sections today. Okay, let's do some work. You do need notebook paper today. So take some out. You're also going to want to have a calculator. All right, so I just added a sheet of notebook paper. So let's look at my first problem. So I will need to copy this down actually on my notebook paper. So let's do this. Let me open that in a new window. Okay. So you might be able to see a little bit of my paper. All right. So I'm going to come over to my notebook paper real quick, and I'm going to copy that first equation down, and then I'll show you my paper. So we have 2x plus 2x plus 2 equals 4x plus 2. Okay, so there's my paper. So I'm just going to start off by solving this equation just as I normally would. I'm actually going to pull out my highlighter for this, and I'll highlight like terms that I see. So for example, right here on this left side, I have those like terms that I can combine. So I'm going to have 4x plus 2. And then on the right side, there are no like terms. Equals 4x plus 2. Keep solving. So you would have to, no matter what, you're going to have to subtract 4x on each side. Look what just happened. The variables canceled. That leaves me with 2 equals 2. Okay, so if your variables cancel, there are two possibilities. Either there's no solution or infinite solutions. So how do we determine? Well, if your variables cancel and you're left with a true statement, which is the case here, does 2 equal 2? Yes, it does. So I'm going to put a check mark. 2 does equal 2. So if you're left with a true statement, then we say there are an infinite number of solutions. So let's write that down. What does infinite solutions mean? That means that anything you plug in place of x would make the equation true. X can be any value. X could be 0, 1/2, 300, negative 1 million, 9.78. Any of those values would make the equation true. So there are an infinite number of solutions. Prior to this, when we solved an equation, you got one solution. You might have gotten x equals 5 or x equals negative 9. When you get one solution, that means there's only one value that would make the equation true. This time, there's an infinite number of solutions here that would make the equation true. So on this paper, go ahead and let's write infinite solutions. Okay, and then we're going to do number 2. So let's see here. I'm just getting my paper opened up, so that way I can copy this down and then I'll show you my paper. So go ahead, let's write this equation down on your notebook paper. Okay, so there's number 2. Start off solving just as you have solved other equations. So the first step would be to distribute the 3. So 3x minus 3 equals 2x plus 9. Okay. Next step would be to subtract the 2x on both sides. So that's x minus 3 equals 9. I'm going to add 3 on both sides. X is going to be 12. This one is just like every other equation that we've solved thus far. The variables didn't cancel. We are left with one solution. X is equal to 12. So the solution to this is x equals 12. So let's write that down. Okay, let's try number 3. 2x plus 8 equals 2 times the sum of x and 4. Okay, so we're going to have to get rid of our parentheses. I'm going to bring down that 2x plus 8. We're going to distribute that 2 equals 2x plus 8. If you want to continue, you may notice ahead of time that this is going to be an infinite number of solutions. 2x plus 8 is equal to 2x plus 8. Both sides are saying the same thing. But if you're not sure, then you can continue working on, and look what happens. My variables just canceled, leaving me with 8 equals 8. So that's a true statement, right? If it's a true statement, if the variables cancel and you're left with a true statement, remember we said that there are an infinite number of solutions. So anything we substitute in place of x here would be a solution to the equation. So I'm going to come back over here to number 3, and I'm going to write infinite solutions. Now, what happens if the variables cancel and I'm left with a statement that is not true, like 8 equals 7? Then we say there's no solution. So let's see what happens when we do number 4. Let's try that one next. All right, I'm going to write down number 4 on my paper. Okay, there's number 4. So you may notice here that I have like terms that can be combined right here on the left side. So 2x minus x is x. So that'd be x plus 7. And on the right side, I also have like terms that can be combined, but they're right here. So that'd be x plus 7. Oh, they're the same on each side. The variables are going to cancel, leaving me with 7 equals 7. Is that a true statement? It is. So we say that there are an infinite number of solutions, or infinite solutions. Okay, so that's number 4. Oops. Let me come back over here. Okay. And now we're going to look at number 5. So I'm writing that down on my paper. Okay. So here I have number 5. I'm going to start off by distributing that negative 2. So negative 2x minus 2 equals negative 2x plus 5. To solve this equation, I'm going to have to add 2x on both sides. Okay? So we're going to do that. And negative 2x plus 2x is 0. So that's negative 2. Another 0 equals 5. Now, does negative 2 equal 5? No. The variables canceled, but this time we're left with a statement that was not true. Negative 2 does not equal 5. So for this one, we say there is no solution. And what that means is there's not a value of x that would make the equation true. So no solution. Okay. All right. You need to complete the remaining problems on this page. Some of them will have infinite solutions, some will have no solutions, and some of them will have a single solution. So go ahead, work through these problems. Good luck. Okay, so you need to check over your answers for problem 6 through 30. So on this page I wrote down my final answer. So make sure that you've written your final answer on this page, and then I've shown my work on other pages. So I'm going to go ahead, if you need to pause this video so you can get that down, and I'll show you my work. So there's 6 and 7. Again, pause the video if necessary. And then here is 8 through 16, 17 through 25, and then 26 through 30. The next page that you had, you can skip those problems. You do not need to complete those. So that's going to be it for this particular lesson. As always, if you have any questions about any of the work we have done, please contact your teacher. As I've said before, the work, you do need to have your work shown. So if you've done it on notebook paper, then you will need to take a picture of that and attach it to this assignment. If you did it in the Notes app or in some other method, still make sure that that is attached so that your teacher can check over it. Once your work is submitted, then work on the independent practice. Good luck.